How do you cope with train station sandwiches, with cafe food, with the day-to-day culinary offerings that we're forced to eat?
It hurts, to be honest, whether you're on a train or whether you're at a petrol station, and these horrendous dehydrated, wrinkled sandwiches are sat there and have been there for the last 2 or 3 days with 50% off. Always a big worry when you see food 50% off at run. To be honest, it frustrates me more than anything. I could scream at the top of my voice when I see the level of laziness connected to food. Whether it's a simple fish and chips done badly with farmed fish and not using sustainable fish, which is destroying far more down the line than they'll ever know. Whether it's the most amazing simple salad, a vinaigrette that's been over-seasoned, under-seasoned, bland food there's no excuse for. I always season in small bits, small amounts of seasoning, so it doesn't need a bigger lump of seasoning at the end of it. When things are bland and you're paying money for, and the first thing you see, customers pick up the salt and pepper and they're spraying the food with salt and pepper everywhere. That's an insult to any chef. It's always a sign of a bad restaurant, because the customer just tasted it and then it needs rectifying on the back of them being inadequate, and you've got to season it. It's really bad. Between that and even watching a burger done badly, a hot dog being cooked badly, a salad being dressed, the amazing macaroni and cheese being done in a sloppy way, it really hurts. Irrespective of what I do for a living and how I cook at that living, it's so easy to do it properly, just to take a little bit extra time over it. The enjoyment level is far greater, and the end results are 10 times more pleasing.
One of the things I love is to go to Spain on holiday and just go in one of their cafes and have a tossed salad for what is probably £2 or €5 to have a bit of their Parma ham. There's nothing to it, but it just seems to taste better, and they don't seem to do anything.
Yeah, well, you've got one of the best countries, in my mind. Everyone's been, discussing France and Italy, but Spain has been at the forefront easily over the last decade. It's where I send all my guys, whether it's in the middle of Barcelona or even up northern Spain, San Sebastian. I mean, an amazing place. And Spain, again, has that culture of their tapa style and their amazing Patra Negra and their amazing hams and their amazing salamis and their amazing salads, and now the most amazing wine. Here, we're a little bit lazy in this country. How many times you paid 60, 70 quid for light lunch for 2 of you and been bitterly disappointed because the food has been cooked badly? Spain has been a huge attraction for me over the last 5 years, and there's so much to learn there, because their natural respect for food. You've got to live well, you've got to eat well, and they eat en masse, en famille, and everything's done so right.
Moving on to you in our remaining moments, I just want to talk about how people regard you now. It's fascinating, in a similar way to Simon Cowell, how maybe 5 years ago people didn't particularly like you, although they watch you. Now they really do have great passion for you. Probably, I think, because of seeing you with your kids. They mean so much to you. How often do you get to see them these days?
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. Listen, they mean so much to me, and that's my foundation in life. My relationship with them is the absolute opposite to my relationship with my father. Jack and I are best mates, and as far as the girls are concerned, I'm their boyfriend. So they're going to marry me when they grow up, and I tease them. I've just got back from the States, and on the back of their half term, they were allowed to come out and spend 10 days with me. I was, sat at the Beverly Hills, and they're all sat there on their sunbeds, and they're ordering smoothies, and it's like, my God, you've got no idea how lucky you are. So we keep it real. They had $1 pocket money each and every day, and I want them to grow up with that level of respect, that it may only be 50 pence, but it's $1. It's paper, it's money, respected. If you want to buy something that's going to cost you $8, then you wait 8 days to buy that. You're not getting an advance from me. So I'm over firm on my children, because I'm in danger of spoiling them. So I, give, unknown to them, Tana and I give away 90% of their Christmas presents. They don't even know they've had. Mum runs a refuge in Taunton, and they don't even get rewrapped. They just don't get unwrapped. They get sent straight down to Taunton. They visit Great Ormond Street 2 days before Christmas Eve as well. And then on Christmas Day, when they know their father's going to work at Claridge's, they'll come in with me, wish all the staff happy Christmas. We'll have a late lunch, really late, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they get one present every year. And whether it's a bike, they don't sit and waste time on an Xbox because that's unhealthy for kids to sit there and get addicted to a screen and get lazy. So I like to think that they stay really real. Jack goes to football. When I'm not at football with him on Saturday morning, I get fined. The girls go to gymnast every Saturday afternoon, and they swim twice a week. So, I'm over firm, but it's all for the right reason.
I interviewed the Osbournes a couple of years ago in New York, and a lot of people criticised that programme and their life. I have never met a group of people with more love in a home than the Osbournes, and it's the same in your house. When you see those programmes, regardless of the money, it just re-emphasises the love and time and the kindness that just goes with being a family. And I think that's brilliant that you have that, and you haven't allowed this massive wealth and this massive fame to take over that. It would be easy to get distracted, wouldn't it?
It would be easy to get distracted. Fox, for instance, pay for the flights, and we all fly first class on Virgin. And I said, whoa, stop. The kids are turning right and we're turning left. I didn't fly till I was 23, so I didn't even get a chance to go on an aeroplane. If you think I'm sitting in first class with my 5-year-old daughter, my 7-year-old twins, and Megan at the age of 9, I don't want the ramifications of a spoiled childhood coming back to bite me on the backside in 7 or 8 years' time, saying, Dad, why are we on this plane with all these people? No chance. You get to the back, you sit down, you get what you're given, you pay respect, and you ask, and you give your manners across every time someone asks you a question. It's yes, please, no, thank you, yes, please, no, thank you, all the time. So, that's how I draw it back. But, this life is becoming slightly superficial because the more successful we become, the more easier things are. And all I want to do now between Tana and I is make it more humble by, installing that level of respect. And that is absolutely paramount. Tana's a school teacher. So, I've got a really nice balance. She writes a fabulous book on cooking for kids, but she's also a very grounded school teacher that really is, a proper teacher in a way that she keeps her thumb on their head daily.
What is also interesting is the more wealthy you become and the more famous you become, the less you pay for anyway. So the money actually doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't, but I don't say that to sound arrogant, but you get all these amazing gifts and it's wonderful. There's no two ways about that, but it's not about freeloading. If I want to take them to watch High School Musical, I want to pay for the tickets and go. It's very rewarding. If I want to go to the cinema to take them to watch Lassie at Christmas, I want to go and pay, and that's really normal. I want them to stand in a queue and buy their popcorn and get their Coke, and then they share the Coke and they share the popcorn between two of them, so they're not sat there greedily thinking this is all mine. It pays to share in life.